This is Scott Hendrickson with MindPlace, and this is going to be part 2 of a continuing series on how to create SpectraStrobe effects. In this particular case, we're looking at how to mimic the visual effect of lightning synced with an Ambience Generator track in Workstation. In the first part, we manipulated the volume of a continuous bed of a thunderstorm sound, and we used that to sync a block of the brightness track with SpectraStrobe. So we create SpectraStrobe track and we sync the content block with the block of the Ambience Generator, which we can see here that the two are perfectly in sync with each other. That allowed us to fade the thunder sound in and out. Now, what we didn't manipulate in that video, and what we will do in this one, is to work with the entrainment track. So at its default setting, it is set to 10 Hertz. That's the default setting at Workstation. So whenever the Ambience Generator fades up and the SpectraStrobe fades up, then it's going to be flickering at 10 Hertz. Now, a great thing about Workstation is its ability to manipulate the flicker rates of pulsing sounds, and that's probably its greatest benefit compared to other methods of doing any type of flickering, sync, or anything of that nature. Workstation excels in this area. So we're going to use the same technique, but we're going to learn how to map to a range that we can constrain the values while still keeping the overall shape of the waves. So it's really the same technique, just with an added ability to constrain to a range. So having looked at how these two tracks are stacked together, knowing that this is our master track, and you can tell by the difference of the icon display here, or of the screen drawing display, with these having large nodes and these having small ones, that this is the master track and this is the slave track, essentially. So let's go ahead then and do the same technique in the entrainment. So we're going to sync with other block, and we're going to select the block, and we're going to get the Ambience Generator again, the volume track. Alright, now this time, before we just manipulated this to 100 so that they mirrored each other perfectly, this time what we're going to do is we're going to map the entrainment value. You can see the defaults are from 5 to 15. Let's change that from 0 to 15. Alright, so when the Ambience Generator volume is 0, then the entrainment is going to be 0. And when the Ambience volume is 100, the entrainment value will be 15. So let's add that. And once again, you see that it comes in perfectly maintaining the shape, but it's maxed out at 15. Now the effect of this, and it goes a long way toward mimicking the visual output, the feel of lightning, because what's happening is that as the thunder sound fades in and grows in intensity, okay, our brightness comes up on the SpectraStrobe, but at the same time we're starting from a low frequency and we're ramping up quickly to 15 Hertz and then back down again. So the flicker is increasing in intensity as the brightness grows in the SpectraStrobe, and getting to a very low beta range, but it's giving us a nice effect of that increasing flicker, which we could expect to associate with lightning flashes across the sky. And because we're just using this simple SpectraStrobe track that's manipulating all the colors at one time, then we're getting the equivalent of a white flash, and so that works to our advantage as well. And it also gets to the brightest level that the Kasina can produce. So just with this simple ability to again map another block, sync it with this main one, then we have the ability to also manipulate the entrainment value and have it ramp up to a high level and adjust down, and that helps to mimic our effect. Now, just quickly on a sidebar, I want to make a note that the real power of this technique, why this technique is so powerful, is because all of these tracks are synced together, right? So if I adjust any of these nodes, say I adjust this particular one, then all of them shift together. So as you go back and perfect this particular effect along with the audio that you like, anytime you make an adjustment to any one of these nodes here, the rest of the nodes follow along. So you're really manipulating a lot of parameters at one time after you set them up, and keeping them in perfect sync and working together. And so that is a very, very powerful feature in my Workstation, and it really allows you to manipulate a lot of parameters in a complex way, but also keep them rather organized and all controlled from one master track. So that's all for this video, and I hope that helps you to get closer to the effects that you have imagined in your mind. And this is Scott Hendrickson, and good luck.